All right, what's up, boys and girls, ladies, gentlemen, guys and gals? So tonight we're talking about part two, National Preparedness Month, September. Tonight, last evening, yesterday, or whenever you're watching this, part one, we recovered how do I receive or how will I receive emergency alerts in the mornings, and what is my shelter plan? And this evening, or whenever you watch this, today, tomorrow, morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever, we're going to be talking about what's my evacuation route, and what is my family and household communication plan. So if you want to learn about or ask questions about emergency alerts in the mornings or your shelter plan, see video 1, leave your questions and comments in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. May do a video on it if you need extra communication. All right, so moving on. So your evacuation plan. What happens if you have to evacuate? Many kind of emergencies can cause you to have to evacuate. In some cases, you may have a day or two, or you may have 30 minutes. Who knows? While other situations might call for an immediate evacuation, planning is vital to make sure that you can evacuate quickly, safely, no matter what the circumstances are. So, in case of a fire, we just purchased another second-story ladder, so that each child and the mother-in-law has a ladder that can clip onto the window, and they can DD-mow out the window. They can get out the windows in case there's a fire, forest fire, whatever. So know how to use those and plan, because that's part of your evacuation route. All right, so learn what types of disasters that are most likely to happen in your community, and local emergency evacuation and shelter plans for each specific disaster. So listen, number 1, to your NOAA weather radio and TV or radio station, whatever you have, for those types of things. Plan. How will you leave, and where will you go if you're advised to evacuate? Some people are going to stay, some people aren't. In the case of high water or flooding, you should get out. It's up to you. It's your life, but always take into consideration everybody else's life that's involved. So check with local officials about shelter spaces available for this year. Because Cerveza has altered a lot of the community's plans, some of those shelters may only take, the average 500 people. Now they may only take 250 or less, so you need to know if those shelters, if you need to use those. If not, have a plan to go to your loved ones, family, friends, somewhere else that's outside the area that's affected. You can evacuate to a community shelter. Follow the guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for protecting yourself and your family. Face masks. Make sure you bring all the cleaning items, face covering soap, hand sanitizer, disinfecting wipes, and Lysol wipes, so you can disinfect surfaces. But that's all also included all the other stuff you need to bring: snacks, toys, stuff for your children, extra batteries, chargers, flashlights, and all that stuff, so that you can maintain 6 feet of space between you and people who are your immediate family. Identify several places you can go in emergency, such as a friend, home, in another town, or a motel. Choose destinations in different directions, so that you have options in the emergency. So 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is better. So have 3 escape routes. So that way, if one becomes blocked, you will have 2 other options you can go to. And if you know it's coming and it's inevitable, then you might want to get out of the way. So leave early so you don't get caught in a rush. Identify several places you can go in emergency, such as, I already read that. Identify a place where you can stay that will accept pets. So if you have pets, please don't leave them at home. Please don't leave them at home. I will say that again. Please do not leave your pets at home, because no one will be there to take care of them, and you don't know how long it'll be before you can get back to take care of them, or how long it'll be before you can get food and supplies to give to your pets. So Be familiar with alternate routes and other means of transportation out of your area. So that's what I said earlier. Bike, hike, car, train, plane, whatever you got. Make sure you have 3 places or 3 different ways to get out. And if you don't want to carry all that crap, get a bicycle hauler. It goes behind the bicycle like you carry your kids in. You can carry kids, you can carry supplies, all kinds of good stuff in that. So always follow instructions of local officials. Remember that your evacuation route may be on foot, depending on the type of disaster. And as we discovered the other day, in part 1 of this, you may need nuclear fallout equipment. So they're specifically telling you that you need plastic and duct tape yourself in an interior room. And that's usually only from chemical or biological attacks. So we'll do some videos on stuff like that, hasty shelters and stuff in the days to come. Come up with a family household plan to stay in touch in case you become separated, have a meeting place, and update it depending on the circumstances. So you could put a CB radio in your kid's car. You could put a 2-way radio. You could put a ham radio, FMRS, GMRS, any kind of those radios in the car. And if you've already prepared your kids and showed them how to use them, then all they have to do is go and get the batteries, put the batteries in, and then they know what channel. You can print it off on a label printer on what channel you're going to be on. Some people do TAC channels per se, not really a TAC channel, but they alternate channels. So make sure that if you have an alternating channel setup, that you have that located in or on the radio, so that the kids know at what time to go to this channel. So it's always good to have simple supplies that are ready for evacuation. Prepare a go bag you can carry with you on foot or on public transportation, and supplies for traveling long distances. And if you have a car, keep the gas tank full. Buy a metal gas can. The jerry cans, you can find those. If not, there's a company that makes red ones. You can find them at most Tractor Supply stores, farm fleet stores, stuff like that. And they are sealed. If you leave the nozzle off and put the little plastic cap on them, you'll see that they vacuum in and then they expand back out. So put that in the car. Some cars require a specialized funnel. So if you have a specialized vehicle, you need to find out now, because some funnels are not big enough when they're inserted to actually unlock the door. Some of the newer cars have 2 pins on the side of the inside of the gas where the nozzle would go in. And if you don't have it wide enough, your funnel, it won't push those out and unlock the little flapper. So that's one thing to check right now. So if you have a car that you're going to be using to get out of Dodge, keep a full tank of gas, and if an evacuation seems likely, because there's probably not going to be any gas around. Most stations will shut down once the power goes out, and they can't pump gas if there's no gas or no electricity. So keep a half tank gas in it at all times in case there's an unexpected need to evacuate. That's just general good rule right there. Gas stations may be closed during emergencies and unable to pump gas, as I said, because of power outages. Plan to take 1 car per family to reduce congestion and delay. All right, depending on the situation, you may want to take 2 cars. You may want to take 3, depending on what situation you're trying to escape from. In a riot situation, you want to have a couple vehicles so that we can have a convoy. That way, if one car gets disabled or something happens, you can all load up into the other 2 or 1. Make sure you have a portable emergency kit in your car. Excellent idea. I have them in all my kids' cars and my car as well. Some are more extensive, some are not. Most of the vehicles have tire repair kit, an extra serpentine belt, serpentine tool set that's for that car. So if it's metric, you need a metric. If it's standard, you need standard. And just generalized stuff, axes, not full size, but like a hatchet, I guess, stuff like that. So and a seal cot key or pet cot key, whatever they're called. So that way, if you need to get water from a business, you can. Always sell those in the car too, but we can do a full video on that. If anybody's interested, if you don't have a car, plan how to leave. If needed, decide with family, friends, or local emergency management to see what resources are available. So again, plan on figuring it out and having 3 ways to get out. If you got a 4-wheeler, use a 4-wheeler. If you got an ATV, UTV, use that. If you have a horse, ride the horse. You got a donkey, ride the donkey. But make sure you have the equipment to saddle everything up, unless you're, efficient at riding bareback. Uh, okay, so during the evacuation, you can download the FEMA app if you wish for a list of open shelters during the active disaster in your local area. Listen to a battery-powered radio, hand crank radio, NOAA radio, whatever you have. Make sure it has NOAA, so that way you can listen to the radio. These here, if you turn them on, and you put the button up here, it plays your radio station. So these are good to have. Just don't transmit on them unless you have a license. Enough said about that. These are what you want. This is the Retevis RT5R. They also make the Baofeng, yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. If you want more information on that, there's plenty of wonderful ham radio things out there. During the evacuation, you want to take your emergency supply kit. Leave early enough to avoid being trapped by the severe weather. Take your pets with you, but understand that only service animals will be allowed in shelters. So you need to make a place for your animals to go because you don't want to leave them. If time allows, call out-of-state contact or text them, because maybe the phones aren't working, but text messages sometimes do still. Tell them where you're going. You want to do that anyways. If you're going on a hike, that's just good practice, or you're going out somewhere into the third field or whatever you got, tell somebody. Secure your home by closing and locking the doors. That goes back to the original concept on part 1 I talked about. Have your plywood already cut and labeled so you can zip it up there. Make sure your batteries are charged on your drills. You don't want to be tripping over electrical cords. Also, when you want to unplug electrical equipment such as radios, televisions, small appliances, leave your freezers and refrigerators plugged in unless there's a risk of flooding. A good way to tell on something like that is you freeze a cup of water about 3/4 of the way full, and then you put a penny on top of it, and then fill the rest of the way water. It's either half or 3/4 of the way. I don't know. I'll have to get you the exact on that, and then leave that in the freezer. So that'll tell you, depending on how far the penny shrunk, how long it's froze, been unfrozen, whether if it's all the way to the bottom, stuff's no good, or if it's froze and refroze. So you can make a little mark on it. I'll find the article on that. Let everybody have that as well. Leave a note telling others that you left and where you're going. So preferably on the door. Make sure all your stuff's locked. Secure all valuables. Hide them somewhere and not in your bedroom dresser drawer. Wear your sturdy shoes and clothing. That provides protection such as long pants, long sleeve shirt, and a hat, because you don't want to get sunburn on your forehead or your 5 head, whatever one you got. Also, hiking boots. So if your wife or significant other is all about the flip-flop life or the croc life or whatever, make sure you have them a good set of hiking shoes or boots. And make sure they wear them occasionally. If you need to do it hastily, you can have them put them on, turn the water on, fill the bathtub up, or walk to a creek, get them wet, and let them walk around with them for a little bit so they'll melt to their feet, and then you don't have to really do a whole lot of breaking in. Follow the recommended evacuation routes. Don't take any shortcuts. They may be blocked. Be alert for all road hazards such as washed out roads, bridges, and downed power lines, and do not drive through flooded areas. Why? Because manhole covers could be missing. The road could be gone. Who knows? All right, so after the evacuation, if you're evacuated for a storm, check with local officials, both where you're staying and home before you intend to travel, so you don't get back there and get denied access to your property. you definitely don't want to go back into a bad area if it's not safe for you to enter again. If you evacuated for the storm, check with local officials, both where you're staying. Okay, I got that. If you're returning to disaster-affected areas after significant events, prepare for disruptions in daily activities, and remember that returning home before storm debris is cleared is dangerous. So, in the area you're traveling to, if you have any extra cash, you might want to pick up some supplies because they may be lost. You might find a generator in the area you're at. You may not have any in your local area. So, check there. It's always a good thing to do. Let friends and family know before you leave the area you're at and when you're going to arrive. Charge all your devices and consider getting backup power batteries in case power outages continue. So juice boxes, I think that's what they're called, juice. Just little things you can charge your phone one time with. You also should look at getting a solar panel of some sort. Goal Zero makes some. There's all kinds. Just do your due diligence and do your research on it, and find one that will charge your phone in one day and not two. Some of the old Goal Zero Nomads take, I think, 12 to 14 hours. So solar technologies came a long way, so make sure you have that. Fill up your gas tank and consider downloading a fuel app to check for outages along the route. I do not know. Gas Buddy may be a good one for that. So that might be an option. Bring supplies such as water and non-perishable food for the car ride. Well, that's a no-brainer. You want to bring as much stuff back with you in case your stuff is destroyed. Avoid down power or utility lines because they may shock you. They will shock you and kill you. So stay away from and report them immediately. So that's probably futile to report them to the power utility company, but hey, by all means, if you see them and you want to report them, do so. Only use generators outside and away from the home. Never run generators inside a home or a garage or connect it to your home's electrical system. So there's some truth and myth in that one as well. You can run the generators in your garage if they're plumbed exhaust outside. Our generator was in our garage. Excuse me. Our generator was in our garage, and it was plumbed for the exhaust system to go out. But in order to run it, you had to go in the house, throw the main breaker to cut power to the power pole, and then go out to the garage, turn the generator on, and plug in the 220 RV connector into the power for the house. So there's ways around that. Just make sure you power your main breaker down from the line so that you don't backfeed into the line and kill some poor lineman out there. All right, let's check what's going on. All right, everybody's in the house now. Let's see. I'm working on the lost audio. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's not being good today. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully all that was heard. Sup, Bikes and Bullets. Check. Copy check. Good evening. Thought it was just a siphon hose, Alabama credit card. Yeah, I do have a cool one. It's a clear tube with a brass hose or brass piece on the end. It's got a little ball in it, so you prime it like doing that instead of doing the old T-shirt method and sucking on the hose. Haha, sap. I actually don't have a hose in my kit. Laugh out loud. Pantyhose don't count. Pantyhose can be used for a temporary serpentine or fan belt. It's been used before. Don't forget the poncho liner. Amen, Patriot in the dark. Yes, you do, Stan. I keep skin from chafing. Laugh out loud, says Bikes. Haha. Evening, Mr. TV9. Have no audio, so I'll have to watch later. So is my audio not working or your audio is not working? Because it shows my meter going up and down there. Good evening, Walter Davis. Good evening, Stan. Good evening, Saints and Sappers. Too bad you don't have chat subtitles. And no, I didn't do sign language. It's 10:21 here. Glad this isn't this is the yes. So if you watch the morning muster, this is the clean version. No expletives here. It's morning summary. Banner at the bottom would help, so I can read what you're saying. Can you trim the top lip hair? No. Comb it. No pomade today. So no. Be ready for disruptions. He's saying you need to read lips. You need to fix your audio. I'm working on the lost audio. Could I have ran a banner for the deaf people? Is this damn thing not working? Hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Go to channel 3. Anybody copy out there? Working now? All right. Oh, let's see here. StreamYard is being screwy. I don't know what is going on. Hmm. So I don't know what's going on. I'm looking to see if I can figure it out. Mr. Tommy. Oh my. Mr. Tommy boy. I have no idea what's going on, guys. So everything was working. All right. So I don't know what happened. I just went and checked. Everything looks good. So moving on. I'll check the video. I may have to do a voiceover. Uh, uh, so, anyways, now I'm talking about. Earlier we were talking about the evacuation plan. So I'm going to add this PDF. This is obviously not for my regular people, because this is just preparedness planning for people that may or may not know. So here's the plan for the PDF to create your family plan if you do not already have one enacted. So on this, create a paper copy of contact information. There's another one I'll give you guys and gals. There's actually a printable version. Well, of course, this one's printable too. So anyways, you want to have copies of all your medical records or whatever on a thumb drive, printed. Pretty much everything these days can be fit on one of those little bitty SD cards or thumb drives. So paper copies. Make sure everyone has a copy in his or her backpack. I wouldn't suggest that for your small children, purse or wallet. If you complete the family emergency communication plan on ready.gov, make a plan. You can print out wallet-sized cards. That's what I was talking about earlier. You should also post a copy of the central location in your home, such as a refrigerator, family bulletin board, so that everybody in the household knows. I'll put it in the kids' back of their phones, something like that. Have regular household meetings to review and practice your plan. So once a week, once every 2 weeks. Most people don't sit down and have dinner anymore at the table, so at least plan on doing that. So Sundays are best for us. Most people are not at work or at school, so we'll sit down and have breakfast and talk about stuff that needs to be talked about. Let me share this here. Yeah, it still says I'm having trouble connecting, so I don't know what is going on. I came here because you're the only one that makes sense. I got 50 pounds of beef jerky and 10,000. I have a ton of. I used to use motor oil to heat my garage. So I built an oil burning furnace and rubber sheets. Yep. You can use those for the nuclear fallout that apparently in part one we talked about and it registered when I first seen it. Why would you need duct tape? And plastic to secure yourself in case of an emergency. Only thing I could think of would be a chemical, biological, or nuclear attack. We have dinner together almost every night. Oh, that's good, Walter. 1 is done, 2 is, yep, 3. All right, so I'm going to share the screen here, if possible.
What are you doing?
Video, what are you doing? A video, what are you doing?
What?
It's this month.
You chatting?
I'm not chatting. I'm doing a video, live video.
Well, then hi.
Hi. The wife says hi, everyone. Okay, so that's not the one I want to do. I didn't get busted, Patriot. The door's wide open. Anybody come in? Come in. Let's see, evacuation. So that's what we're. No, I want to create your family plan. There we go. All right.
Fine.
All right. So here's where we're at. So all your household information. Most of you guys know that. Write down phone numbers of everybody in the household because nobody remembers those these days. That way you can help connect. Also, as I was saying earlier, if maybe, I don't know if it came through or not, but if you have these kind of radios or GMRS or whatever, you need to make sure your comms plan everyone's familiar with so that everybody knows, and have a little piece of paper that they can put in their wallet, purse, whatever. So that I put it in a few places, tucked away in their car kits and everything else. So whether they're in the car or on the phone, whatever. Just little things like that so that everything's easier. And if they lose one, they have another one. So, because a disaster can strike during school and work hours, you need to know what your emergency plan is and how to stay informed. Discuss these plans with your children and let them know who could pick them up in emergency. You'll also have to discuss that with your school because most schools require the people to be on the pickup list so that some random stranger doesn't pick up your child. Make sure your household members have phones signed up with alerts and warnings from their school, workplace, and local government. You can also do your child's school if they go to a public school or private school. To find out more about those things, you can go to ready.gov and sign up for alerts. I think it's the WEPs. We talked about that in part 1. Your out-of-town contact. So if you have somebody that's out of town, and you should, a family member or friend, that way they all can call and they can relay information in case you are separating. And then your emergency meeting places. If you live in a place there where there's tornadoes, hurricanes, or high wind storms that can happen, make sure everybody knows how to get into the shelter. Could go into a small windowless room, closet, or bathroom, but it's best to have a shelter. If you have a cold storage root cellar, you can use that. Or you could get one of those fiberglass ones and plunge it in the ground. Manhole, like an old septic tank that's not been used, you can put those in the ground and put a service hatch on them. In your neighborhood, there's a place where the household members will meet in case there's a fire or a place in your yard. So, for example, I was talking about that earlier. We have 3 escape ladders for the second story. So we just picked up the 3rd one the other day. They clip onto the window. You throw them out the window and you climb down. So if there's a fire in the house, people in the second story don't have to go down the hallways, down the stairs, anywhere. They can go out the window if need be. In your neighborhood, there's a place in the neighborhood where your household members can meet. Like I said, mailbox, driveway, neighbor's house, whatever. Outside your neighborhood, there's a tornado, whatever, have a place where you can meet there. So that way, if a disaster happens and you can't get back to your home, you have a place to meet. Church, school, friend's house, whatever. If you're outside the city or town, have an out-of-town meeting place that will help you reunite if the disaster happens. If you can't get home, or to your out-of-neighborhood meeting place, make sure you notify somebody. Your out-of-town contact through your CB radio, ham radio, whatever. Because in an emergency, you can use the ham radio if you're not a licensed operator to tell somebody to pass it on. And then if you do nets, the easiest way I can explain the net is every hour you go to one channel, and then you'll broadcast on that channel. And on that net, in case of emergency, they'll know that they can turn in on that hour and listen to reconnect that way. So if your family's not together and your community is instructed you to evacuate the area, the meeting place should be the home of a relative or family friend. Make sure everyone knows the address and the meeting place and discuss ways you get there. So that's a good thing to talk to your kids about. If they do go to public schools, you want to be able to call them, text them, whatever, and say, hey, we're not going to be there. Go here, go here and here. So you should also write down phone numbers of emergency services, utilities, service providers, medical providers, veterinarians, insurance companies, and other services. Save that in your phone. Save it on your SD card, so if your phone gets destroyed, you can pull out your SD card and put in another one. Make copies of your family emergency communication plan for each member of the household to carry in his or her wallet, backpack, or purse. Put a copy on the refrigerator or your daily routine checkoff board for chores, whatever you guys and gals got. Enter the household and emergency contact information into all the family's mobile services, mobile phones, or devices. Just put a sticky note inside there. Most things allow you to do that. Samsung Notes, iPhone has it too, where you can make a little note in their phone, so they can easily bring it up out of their files. Store at least one emergency contact under the name in case of emergency, or ICE. I wouldn't use ICE, but this will help identify if someone finds your loved one, family member, whatever, so that way they can inform of any emergency contact or medical issues that may be required. There are these, I got one laying around here somewhere. It's a little bracelet, and depending on how fancy you want to get, you can get one that opens up, and I don't know where it is right now. But you can also get the medical bracelets that are fancy, and if your wife wants to wear one and she has some medical problem, then you flip it over and it say I'm diabetic, or I have seizures, or whatever. Create a group list on the mobile phone devices so that you can text message everybody in a group message. Make sure your household members know your out-of-town contact so they can text or call, and also have alternative ways to communicate, which we talked about in Volume 1. And then, of course, you can go get the alerts from ready.gov. Once you've completed your family emergency communication plan, make copies, give it out to everybody, of course, put it in the car, put it in the glove box, put one in the trunk in their emergency survival boxes, or, whatever, backpacks if they carry go bags in their car. Most people don't have to practice texting or calling, so that's just the thing to do. So if you have a young kid that has the phone that has the 5 buttons on it, they're set, and most of your, semi-adult kids will probably out-text you. Discuss what information you send via text. You'll want to let others know that you're safe. Short messages like "I'm okay" at library. I guess it really doesn't matter what the text message is, other than "Hey, I'm alive. Meet me here." Talk about who will be the lead person to send out the information about the designated meeting place. So mother, father, oldest son. So that everybody's not saying, hey, we're going here. Have one person designated to send out that message. Should you not make it, your spouse would send it, chain of command type thing. Practice gathering all the household members at your indoor and neighborhood meeting places. Talk about each person get the identified out of neighborhood or out of town meeting places. Discuss all modes of transportation, such as public transportation, rail, paratransit, for all family members, including people with disabilities and other access and functional needs. So if you have a wheelchair bound person and they have a hover around, make sure you have an extra battery on hand so that if you have to walk, they can ride the wheelchair, or have a non-powered wheelchair for them so that you can push them. Regularly have conversations with your household members and friends about the plan, so they know who to text and call and where to go. Keep the refresher course up. Like I said, one evening a week, sit down and have a conversation. To show why it's important to keep the phone numbers written down, ask your kids or your wife or yourself, hey, what's so-and-so's number? I don't even know any of my kids' numbers. If I didn't pull it out of my wallet in the laminated sleeve that I have, I wouldn't know them because of my phone. It's their name, so no phone number. You have to physically go in and look. Make sure everyone, including children, know how to use 911. If 911 is not available, make sure they know how to use their Glock or whatever firearm you choose. Review, update, and practice family emergency communication plan at least once a year, or whatever any information changes. It's good just to give a quick little talk about it. Say hey. On Sundays, I'll say, hey, do you know where your portable battery pack is? Is it charged? So. And I'll regularly play games. If they leave it laying somewhere, I'll pick it up and put it in my pocket and then ask them where it's at. And, when they say no, then we'll have a discussion about it. But text is best. Other important tips and information communicating during disasters. Text is best when using mobile phones, but if you make a call, keep it brief. Probably won't get through if it's an actual emergency. So text messaging conserves batteries. So just do that. And anyways, they're all going to be overpowered or overwhelmed. Conserve your mobile phone battery by reducing the brightness on the screen, placing it in airplane mode, and closing all the apps you don't need. Limit watching videos and playing video games to help reduce network congestion. Keep charged batteries, a cell phone charger, a separate charger, and a battery backup for your mobile phone. Teletypewriters, amplified phones, and caption phones. If you charge your phone in your car, be sure it is in a well-ventilated area, not in a closed garage. That's just common sense. All right. If you're driving, do not text. And I have no idea what the hell that means for this part of the thing, but maintain a household landline, an analog line, or battery backup. We don't have landlines here anymore, so you can't get it. You can also use text-to-speech, digital technology, VRS, VIOPs, which is internet over protocol or internet over phone. I can't figure that one out. Amplified phone, backup battery, in case the internet or mobile service is down. If you evacuate, have call forwarding feature on your phone. Forward the home number. Don't have a home phone. I'm really sure they don't have it here because we have really crappy internet. Use the internet to communicate by email, Twitter, Facebook, or other social media networks. Let everyone know you're okay. Communication channels. Make sure everybody, you should have access to your kids' Facebook, Twitter, and stuff anyways, so that you can keep an eye on them. If you have deaf children, make sure they know how to sign. Have pad of paper and pencil so they can talk. Or relay information via that. If you don't have a mobile phone, keep a prepaid phone card, so that way you can use it, a prepaid phone in a disaster. Use a payphone if available. Not available anymore. I don't know where any are. I've looked for them and I can't find them. All right, so scrolling on down here, there's other things that you can click on. Here's the emergency communications plan. You hang on your refrigerator. School's name, case of emergency, out of town contact, places you would go, police, pediatrician, doctor, pharmacy, stuff along those lines, insurance policy, flood insurance, veterinarian, kennel, gas company, have the tools to turn off your water and your gas, so that those wrenches are fairly inexpensive and easily obtainable. Gas company, that's usually done with a crescent wrench, so make sure you have a crescent wrench. Use a carabiner and hang it out there, right by the thing, if nobody's going to steal it. The electric company know how to pull your meter socket, so, or turn your main breaker off, so that if you need to, you can. All right, well, let me go over here and check the chat. I'm sure that none of you guys over here need any of this information, but we'll check it out anyways. All right, so hopefully everybody heard me now. All right, so I remember that one's the last one, so all true, they're almost every night. Liberty not licensed. One is none, two is none, Walter. I have 2 body bags for me and the wifey. You need a Kubota. Oh, you probably already have one. Unzip at TB9, where you can hear Irish. Got a bunch of old tires that can light on fire, so you can see, can't see, so no one can see me through the smoke. Should I get a respirator? Laugh out loud. Yeah, you probably should for that. No, unless you want black lung. Oh man, you got busted. Nah, she wants to watch TV or something. So happy wife, happy life. That's one more that you can take down. Then go to the K bar. You know you're supposed to do the dishes. I have a mother-in-law that lives with me, so she can do the dishes. Pretty soon I'll be sleeping in. So all you have to do is zip me up. I don't have any friends, so the phone, yeah, you got me. You can call me. I'll be your out-of-town contact, Mr. TV9. I have flip phone. I have a flip phone. No, you should have if it has the WPS system on it. If not, Mr. TV9, I don't know what your communication plan is, but you can get one of these. This is the Retevis RT5R, or you can get the UV5RB, whatever it is from that. They also make a little pocket one that I keep in my oldest daughter's car. It takes four AAA batteries, and it's nothing but a NOAA weather radio. It's $12. Amazon or Walmart, I think, still carries them. Maybe not now, but no weather radio for sure. Random strangers are the ones indoctrinating their children while they're at school. That all starts at home. It's kind of a bad thing and a good thing, I guess. But I've always taught my children to question everything. My grandfather always told me, and I passed it on to them, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. So always investigate it. And that's part of why I provide links in all the other Morning Muster stuff so that you can go do your own research. Fox News plausibility believes the riot is breaking. Okay. Just turn on Fox to see another shot. Capitol Hill, D.C., big slump. Gun justified, recovered. America's turning, yep. I actually do need to print out EEP for the immediate family. Yeah, this is just a basic thing. I wanted to cover some stuff because my channel is obviously docked because of the Morning Muster. So I'm just doing family-friendly stuff for these 30 days in September, so that there's non-expletive talk or less expletive talk on these chats. Current topic: I recently learned that the hard way that my T-Mobile phone can or cannot be shut down completely, including unknown service. I need to get another CB or something. CB is something I'm looking at doing in everyone's vehicle again. I recently, before all this stuff kicked off, I'd been working on a scanner. I finally got the scanner put up. I have 11 meter, which is a CB radio, so that I can listen. CB's not really dead. There's a lot of truck drivers still have it, so everybody's vehicle is gonna have one soon. I'm working on getting everybody's put in. If you have a double din dash, so like if your vehicle has um, the place for a double din radio, and you can trade that out, put a single din in it, and then put the CB radio right below it. So that's a good thing. You can always carry like one of these GMRS. I like these because you can program them to do GMRS, FRMS, or FMRS, whatever it's called, and then knowable weather radio. And if I can ever manage to do it correctly, it also plays the radio, so you can tune in your local radio stations. So, and currently is on rap station, I guess. They're doing commercials now. Still waiting to see what happened. So I'm really concerned about yesterday's part one, where they're telling you to have plastic and duct tape and ready to seal yourself in a room. So, and then I got to find the paper again, and but I printed out the report from the United States government saying that China is surrounding us pretty much, and that there will be some kind of nuclear exchange because they've been put on the ready, and they're not reactive now. They're all ready to go. I'm sure they'll be back to it. I was going to take a nap, and I found Irish on so I could watch. So I can, yeah, 1 a.m. Yeah, nope, no poison stinger for me. I just want to do these every night. I got school, farm work, and other stuff going on, and I just had a few minutes to sit down and do this. So, payphones. There's actually a payphone finder. So if there is still payphones, you can go look at them. I know it's hard to believe, but if you were in America instead of China Irish, would you actually grab a rifle out now and help us safely use the tool by sharing his knowledge and his experience with us? Did I miss something? I know it's hard to believe, but if we were in America instead of China Irish, could you actually grab a rifle right now and help us safely use the tool by sharing your knowledge and experience with us? I can share all kinds of stuff. No gas here. I got all the CB walkie-talkies good to go. Mr. TB9, whenever I get my new antenna, maybe we can get some skip going on there and talk. So we can the DXing. Not sure if anything's going to happen. I should sell all my stuff. Yeah, right. CB is also something I have not gotten around installing. Yeah, it's just good. 15 miles roughly. If you get the old amplifier, you get a lot further. So, and you can still find them. So that's good. The plastic tape. That's to keep all the juices in. What's up? 911 NFW. Phone by the seaside. Remember that commercial? If it's the one with the hidden camera shows, laugh out loud. What's the smoky surrounding thing? Okay, so the green screen is, I have a fan going, so the green screen is moving back there. So it's not perfectly set up yet. So that's what's going on. Breaker 19, can you hear me over? Hard copy there, Mr. TB9. All right, well, guys and gals, do we have any questions about anything I talked about that you could hear? Because apparently my audio was messed up. For some reason, this is being ridiculously hard. It won't allow me to put banners or change anything. So But yeah, the green screen is moving. And then last night I noticed that I had the security cameras on that TV, so I had to shut that off. So anyways, this is the month of preparedness, so we're doing these sometime every day. So I don't know if you guys and gals get notifications, but share these. Don't share the morning muster because we don't want to hurt people's feelings because of all the expletives that are used and topics that are talked about. So as always, I'm Irish USMC Vet. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Leave your bitches, bones, complaints in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about this video or you want further explanation on something we covered in this video, in the comment section below, and we'll do a separate video on it. No notifications. All right, I'm working on it. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm still shadow banned, so I'm trying to do some clean videos, and then morning musters, for what it is. And then I'm also putting out other videos. I have videos scheduled Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, hopefully, but for sure every day this month I'm going to do covering the National Preparedness Month. So thanks, guys and gals, for checking in. Leave your questions and comments down there. If we need to do another video on further explaining something, I'll be happy to do that. Already did the thumbs up, thumbs down, Simplify, guys. Godspeed to you all, and we'll catch you later. Have a great day or evening or whatever. Go check out Poison Stinger's video. He'll be up later on tonight. Thanks, guys. Stay prepared.